Hello, Terra family. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed me showing pictures of the cards because I no longer want to do that anymore. Because I just feel like when the message comes to me, it comes to me, and then I start to lose it as I start to prepare everything for recording. Um, so that's that. But I mean, if you guys like it, I guess tell me, and then I'll maybe bring it back. But I was just going on this rant to myself. I'm just like, sometimes people can bluntly say the truth, or even with tarot cards, it's like you don't really need to know astrology and the Torah to get the picture. Like, you know exactly who these people are, you know what they look like, and your intuition starts to speak for itself. So that's why I'm like, at this point in my practice, I try not to show people the cards because everybody can read them, and I'm like, I don't want you to see. I just want to give it to you very slowly and like little dollops, you know what I mean? Like a tarot reading, it's like sour cream at Chipotle. Like you don't want it to engulf the burrito, right? So that's my analogy for that. Okay. So, and I guess this also gives us a better like channel because I'm like this like me freshly shuffling versus me like having shuffled, placed the cards out, taken a picture, uploaded the picture, yada yada yada, put into frame, whatever. So then in mediumship, we ask the question, what spirits are around us? Who's around us? Okay, great. And see, and this is why. And this is why I hide the cards. Okay. So usually, as I've been saying that in these readings in the first house, when we ask what spirit it is around us, we usually look for or what usually appears as a court card. It'll tell me like, oh, this person's like this sign, that sign, whatever sign. And now, I'm actually seeing a trump card here, which is the devil. Ooh, scary. I mean, but the devil is like, so I always see it as like a cesspool, you know what I mean? And when I see the devil, I'm just like, let's turn this cesspool into a success pool, okay? I think I said that in the last video too. So that's what I'm seeing here. But it's also like things that have gotten out of control, abuse of power. Like I said, it's a Pikachu that used to shock you, and then it was like funny, and then it's a Raichu that now like shocks the shit out of you. And I think like if you actually look, there's like a yokai, as we were talking about Pokemon and yokai here apparently, that I don't remember the name of. Maybe I'll find a picture of that. I'll add a picture of that later or something, and we'll actually make some education happen. But it is, yeah, it's like something that like settles in your belly button and then like electrifies you or something. So there's that, and then like the Devil Tarot card has like a huge belly, right? But as I said in the last video, as we do have guardian angels, we have guardian demons as well, like the Kitsune, which is a fox, like raccoons, like all the animal spirits really like have like a divine guardian form. That's why they persist on the planet, right? And the devil also talks about addiction, and even in the later iterations of Pokemon, they've changed their marketing from "gotta catch 'em all" to just, I don't know, like Pokemon, whatever the new marketing thing is, because that does engender addictive behaviors. Because I know for myself, with like my OCD, I attack everything like Pokemon, and I'm like, oh, if I don't have all of them, or if I can't look at all of my clothes at once, like to get it away from me, it's too overwhelming. So that's like the devil energy talks about. It's like overwhelm, frustration, sexual frustration, all those things, and that's like a spirit that's here. And yeah, so that's who's here in this reading. Welcome. Stick around. And then so this gargoyle, or that's the thing too. Like I said, like you can have guardian demons as well. So this gargoyle here, is addicted to gambling, right? The Five of Swords. And I'm seeing this stuff like, oh, they're like in Las Vegas or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh, like slots and whatever. But I'm like, no, no, no. It's not, Las Vegas. It's not. It's just 7-Eleven because they have slot machines in all of those places now. And the thing is, like, if you really think, I don't know. So that's where the Five of Swords comes up too, where people like may not being honest, like Five of Swords in the second house, may not being honest where their money's coming from, gambling addiction. This spirit has a gambling addiction. This is the spirit of gambling addiction. And as I'm constantly talking about Pokemon, but no one else is, give me very like sell it on city, like the casino, whatever. So you yokai masters out there put the connections of the Pokemon that are there and the yokai that are associated with that. Like Lickitung, I think, is very much like a Mogwai Shin. Um, you know, they like hang out in dirty bathrooms. But that's what I'm saying. Like turn this turn this cesspool into a success pool. That's what this guardian demon gargoyle is saying. Um, and then okay, so this card right here, or I always talk about like the house system and astrology, and that's how I do all of my tarot readings. So, like I said, when I'm asking this question in mediumship, what spirit is around me, and I say like, oh, it should usually be a court card, or if it's the Five of Swords, it's a spirit that doesn't want to show their face. Um, could have had a closed casket for certain reasons because of gambling or taking gambles with people. Um, but then this is the first sentence of seeing a trump card, I think, actually to my remembrance. But it's like someone had a gambling addiction, like bad. Oh my God, what was it? Some comedian was saying it to me. Some comedian, they're like, oh, I forget who they're saying, who it was. I think it might have been Dave Chappelle or something. He's like, oh, they came, my son came to me. Oh, begging for a dog. Yes, 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 yes. It was Dave Chappelle. He's like, my son came to us begging, the dog had gambling debt, and was like, please or whatever, like something like that. So there's that. And so this message came to me about just explaining the house system in the third house. What is it meant by cadence? And cadence is, oh yeah, I have a thunderstorm going in the background. It's a real thunderstorm, so hopefully it doesn't sound like me frying chicken like the last one. I don't think it ever really sounds like that. I just like that joke. But so yes, so the third house talks about cadence and how you speak. So I was even thinking to myself, I was like, if you were singing, like right before I did this reading, I was like, if you're watching Grease or singing Grease and you sang, like, you are the one I want, like, at a slower octave, or like, like, you are the one I want, like, it's like goes from a happy, joyful song to a scary one. And that's what cadence is. So, and the way that this, spirit speaks, it's like a somber and sorrow one. Sort of feels like Eeyore from like Winnie the Pooh or something, but I guess because they're making that like horror movie Winnie the Pooh thing, so I see that energy here too. I feel like that's bad. I mean, there's already the internet has already ruined everything, but like nothing. I mean, Winnie the Pooh was already pretty scary when it first came out, but okay. Anyway, but so the spirit, it speaks very somberly, and it kind of wants you to me. I guess it kind of wants me to speak slower. And that's what I said in the last reading. I was like, I'm having a conversation with a spirit, and as much as I most certainly want them to hurry the F up and get the message out, you have issues with that, and it's a person that you actually have to have like sympathy for. Because also like I'm like a fast talking person, and like I think I said this in one of the mediumship messages before, like one of the Anne Boleyn's or something, or Henry VIII's wife or something. I'm like, what is this person's problem? Like, why are they talking so slowly? I'm like, oh, my head was cut off, and I was like, oh, okay, but still, like, hurry it up, you know what I mean? And but then also some spirits have accents or don't speak English, so it's just a little bit more difficult for me to understand them. and it's like a real thing, and I'm like, it literally sounds like a mosquito buzzing in my ear sometimes. Uh, and then also, in I don't know, I think I might have said in the Lionheart spell, but I don't know if I've said this in the mediumship messages, um, or I might have said it like in my Instagram story once upon a time, that sometimes your ancestors speak languages that you don't understand, and you not being able to understand them gives you a headache. So you could hear a spirit like talking to you in like Chinese or Korean or Spanish, and you don't speak Spanish, and you're just like, what is this like buzzing in my head? And it's like your ancestor trying to communicate with you. Um, or this person that has this person with extreme gambling debt. It's a spirit, you know what I mean? So like I said before in other readings, where I say that if you have an aunt who's like a matchmaker, okay, great, she's going to be helping you making partnerships in this life. If you had an uncle who was a money maker and a business and opportunity grower, when they go over to the next dimension, they're going to help you bring gifts back into this life. Awesome, amazing. Uh, but I guess if you pass with gambling debt, your spirit may not even know that you're gone, and you're still just like, please, I need money. I have gambling debt. And they're like, bro, your debt days are over. Uh, the days of debt are over. So yeah. So it's really like there's nothing to, I mean, I guess we're trying to commit, like, there's nothing to be sorry about. Let water flow under the bridge. They still have this feeling of scarcity even in the afterlife. Um, but it also just kind of feels like maybe they're trying to teach us a lesson of like PTSD, like people come home from war and they can't, like, when does the war end? When you know what I mean? Like, and even like writing a story, like they say, or writing a story, or recording an album, that great albums are not finished, they're abandoned, right? And that's, I think, true in all works of art. But even in a struggle like being in debt or living in fear or having been on the run or whatever it is, there's still this like just growing fear around you. Um, that is very hard to overcome. And I see that the best way to, or the biggest obstacle, is just cooperating with other people after having lived in some sort of fear. Um, and I'm seeing the Three of Pentacles here, so I feel like I'm putting it together for the spirit that I feel like this person is. And so hopefully you guys are putting it together too. And that's the thing too about the cards, because like when you see the cards and you see the cards' faces, you're like, oh, I know exactly who that is. I know who that is. Oh my God, that's who that is. And you may not be a person who knows everybody's sign and everybody's rising sign, but for the few people whose sign that you know, it's usually that person, right? Because like, why else would you know their sign? And there's people who have like, I'm like, I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know where you come from or what your sign is. I don't want to know any of it. And then literally I know all of it and more, and their ancestors and their signs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like, I guess you're significant. So I guess I should, take note of this. And, okay. So that's also, this position is, like, if you want to receive blessings or guidance, it says Three of Pentacles, so money, from them, what they want from you is to work well with others, and be cooperative. And you know what, there's so many times I've done like personal readings where I'm just like, I wish I could just like record this and just everybody listen to it, because it's the same in every reading. Because that's what they weren't able to do. Maybe their debt wasn't that much and they just needed a little bit of help. But they just wish they would have asked for more help, or worked with the team. Yes, and so that's what they want you to do. They want you to work well with others, particularly with the signs of maybe Leo or Virgo or like Earth signs. I guess that's a challenge for you, because like I know for me, I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I guess like what's supposed to help is that your anxiety is supposed to be let free by this. So they want to help you get more in touch with your soul family, your soul tribe, free yourself from anxiety, and to help you look out for traps. And so the Seven of Swords came up in a reading that I did for myself earlier today. And I was like, oh, someone's trying to trap me or trick me? Like, what is this? And then literally because of some things like that I have going on, there's like a wire on the floor, and it almost tripped me. So, as I say, like, oh, you might be taking a trip to Las Vegas. You might trip or go on a trip and then, go to the casino at the 7-Eleven, and it feels like you're in Las Vegas, and it's a trip. Um, but so that's like a very literal interpretation of this card. And that might be perceived as delusion or delusional to some people, but I think that as you're slowly trying to transition from agoraphobia or fear or whatever, um, you uh, you have to take slow, small steps. Like if you don't feel comfortable going to a restaurant, bring the restaurant to your house. Get a tablecloth, light a candle, get a flower, order some food. Like take the food off of the out of the boxes that they give you, put it on a plate. Take a sprig of some herb or something green and put it on there and garnish the plate and just feel fancy for that day. And as you become more accustomed to treating yourself well and better, you'll start to grow and appreciate with ways that you appreciate your life. And it's not even to be gluttonous or ostentatious. It is to just like to enjoy life, because life is meant to be enjoyed. Like you don't have to cling on with fear. Cling on? I don't know, something about Star Trek. You don't have to cling on with fear. You can just simply enjoy it, literally, like just literally, not figuratively at all. Stop and smell the roses, take a picture, look up the spiritual meaning of what that rose means, or the history of how that that tea rose Sabina came into existence, and who was the person who pollinated whatever, what have you, and just enjoy it, like almost like Pokemon, because what's his name, something Satoshi, whatever. His whole purpose was to encapsulate the feeling of bug catching for a generation that probably wasn't going to go out in the woods getting bitten by ticks to go capture a horned beetle, right? Satoshi, whatever. So that's the thing too, and it's also this thing about the Seven of Swords. Also this thing about like having fresh breath. It is also this thing about keeping up with dental hygiene. It is also this thing about sometimes Aquariuses like to try to trick you, but don't be tricked. Because there is like the Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, and Queen of Swords. And then we have, I burped. Sorry, I'm a human. I'm nuts. That's the thing too. Like, just to get to know me, I'm just like so unapologetically human. I'm like, I burp, gases come out of me. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Can't stop it. And I forget that like other people aren't that way. I also like hate deodorant. I mean, I don't mind smelling good. I just feel like that. I mean, and I actually love the smell of Degree and things like that. But it's just, I don't know. I love the smell of myself, I guess, more. Is that disgusting? Anyway, I think that's also like maybe a devil or hermit energy. I don't see the hermit here, but we'll see what it is. But so here we have the first court card here, and it is a Queen of Swords, and the suit of swords does tend to be more connected to the spirit world. They always have the butterflies there, and there was this thing. I was like playing The Sims, right, for a while because trying to go God mode, right, and I had this one character, and they were painting this like really dark painting of like butterflies, and I was like, oh, butterflies, that means they're gonna pass away soon. I was like, I hope not. It's one of my favorite characters, and crept in the Grim Reaper, right? So but the Queen of Swords, it always kind of gives me like a grandmother energy, very much like, not to be like racist grandmother, but like very much like White Diamond. Doesn't really understand the concept of like racism or white supremacy, so they don't really see how they play into it or the part that they play, because of how rewarded they are by it. And Queen of Swords, Grumpy Baby, Butterfly Queen, right? And this person went to a lot of faraway parties in different countries, could have dual citizenships or degrees from colleges from overseas and things. I went to college overseas, which I guess overseas from where I am or overseas from where you are. So if you're like in another country, they could have gone to college in America versus if you're in America, they could have gone to college in South America or Africa or Europe or one of the other continents. Take a choosing, take a pick. Probably not Antarctica, but maybe, you never know. And yes, okay. And then the reputation, though, was one of not extreme wealth. So, or like not extreme wealth and not very much like into the church, or not very much being religious, and for being cold. So as we're talking about an air sign queen, who's staring off into space, this spirit is known for being cold. And cold, and then the Eight of Cups. Like, I don't know. The Eight of Cups. Like, I've been seeing, like, the Five of Pentacles, like, destitution. I've been seeing the Eight of Cups as, like, what do you call this? Desperation. So it's, like, destitution, desperation. Old and desperate. Old desperate lady. Old desperate. It almost sounds like a racehorse, though. What is it? Juno Birch, he calls them Jenny Desperates or Joey Desperates or something. That's what it feels like. It was very mean. That just came to mind. And then their secret is that they actually, so Queen of Swords, Four of Cups. The Four of Cups actually kind of pisses me off because it's like somebody who's like listening, or maybe like deaf earing you, like they don't really listen to you, like they like are not really paying attention, like squandering opportunities. And I know, like, so the thing is too is that my tarot journey, I used to get readings from this woman, Maria Pierman, and it's actually one of the great things that my mom brought into my life was that I got to go get readings from her for free. And basically, I guess I don't know. My mom would pay for them sometimes, whatever. But I mean, this one time I tried to offer her to pay, and she told me she's like, "Oh, do you think I'm poor or something?" And I would talk to her for like hours. We're only supposed to be like 30 minutes or an hour, but she would let me talk to her for like hours, because I was like, I was eating up what she was saying. But at first, the first couple ones where my mom, like paid, whatever. And Maria Pierman, she's like a very well-known psychic. She used to do reading, or like Sidney Omar, the astrologer, talks about her in one of his books. Very reputable, very great. And she was like trying to like hook me up with some of her clients, and she's just really great, and she talked to me about angels and divine timing. She really put a crown on my head when it came to like psychic intuition and opening me up to this type of thing. Even though I was already doing it, but Four of Cupsing it all, being like, "Oh, my cards say tower, don't go outside today. Well, I'm gonna go to the club anyway. Bye." She would always tell me, "Stay in the driver's seat." You know what I mean? Like, be the captain of your ship. And I'm like, "Captain? That sounds like a lot of responsibility. What do you know?" And another thing, or like I guess the key thing that she told me was like the first time I sat in a chair with her, she was like, "Oh, you're going to become a tarot reader." And I was like, "Honey, I'm going to be a photography billionaire. I'm not going to be no tarot reader. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard." I was like, "Get me the hell out of here." And then and I was like, "I'm going to go home and do my own tarot cards." Like, what, just because all I do is watch astrology videos all day, every day, and all I read are astrology books and tarot books, you think I'm going to become a tarot reader? That's absurd. And the thing is that we don't look at the man in the mirror. We don't really know who we are. Even as a Pisces, who I think I'm like the king of introspection, I don't turn the introspecticon up high enough to truly see like who I am, and it takes getting a reading. And I say, I have often said that doing a reading for yourself is a lot like cutting your own hair. Like you're gonna miss some pieces, and that's okay. Just it, maybe get someone to line you up in the back. It's great. Okay. So I feel like this has been like an amazing, powerful message, as spooky as it was to start with the devil, and maybe that's the thing too, where it, like I said, it's like a guardian demon or gargoyle, where it's like maybe someone who's not supposed to be listening, like they hear devil and they run away, and that makes who the deep divers and the people who are really supposed to receive this message stay along for the ride. So, like I said, I like to pull out these animal spirit cards to attach an animal spirit to these court cards, but I guess I should do it for El Diablo too. Like the thing is that like I have a high understanding that the devil card, like I said, is just talking about like dirt and filth, and usually spirits that can't even harm you, like very much like Pokemon, that they're the way you get rid of them is literally from like a bottle of Clorox, or vinegar. But I don't like it either. I don't like them either. I don't know. It's mean, I guess. And then also sometimes I've said like the devil is like if it were an X-Men, it would be like Beast, where it's like maybe he doesn't like it either. Have a very positive perception of themselves either. But because BC always stays locked in at the X-Men house or whatever it is, even though he's like very strong and powerful, but he's also very secretly intelligent, and so he's not only known for his like beastly abilities. So yeah, I guess it's like telling you to have a deeper relationship with your guardian demons. Which I know, like, to maybe a Christian faith, that might sound absurd, but I think to anybody, like I said, who's ever watched Naruto or any anime, it's usually some type of, oh, they're a wolf demon, but demon is just like a translation. It's just like a spirit beast that doesn't have wings and float around like a cherub, Some of them are animals, and this one, I guess, like has wings and stuff. It's saying a puffin, which came up in the last reading as well. Accept yourself. Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect, and ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. So like I said, this is not a spooky, bad demon. They're trying to help you. They're trying to build a partnership with you. And the Queen of Swords is the squirrel spirit. It says that they are always protected. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for your future, and life will give you all that you need. And that's the thing too. Like squirrels are somebody who's always prepared. This makes me think of one of my favorite TikTokers, Tanara, the Everybody's So Creative girl, right, or woman, right? Everyone's So Creative woman. She has this one part. It's my favorite part. She's like, and if you don't have this, go down to Kiki's house, and Kiki has kids, so like blah blah blah. She has extra stuff. So whenever I think of Kiki, I think of like the squirrel spirit, like somebody that has like snacks and whatever at their house. Okay. All right. So that's everything, right? We did the animal spirits. We talked about this. We talked about that. I see an energy that's approaching. Over here is the strength card, and usually I see the strength card as like someone building up their sacral chakra or doing yoga. I see it as like a warm hug, but I have definitely been seeing it as like a relationship with like a large land animal. And I thought it was, in California and stuff, like if you've ever seen the television show, the Showtime show, Weeds, the first episode, I think like Shane shoots like some mountain lion with a gun or some sort of gun, BB gun or something, I don't know. So the strength card I've been seeing is like a large animal. And before the Netflix show Tiger King came out, I was seeing this card a lot. And then last year I was doing readings and I was seeing this card a lot. And in my own hometown, there's been several sightings of black bears, which usually isn't a thing to my knowledge. But I also know when I was in the first time I ever even heard, like, I've obviously heard of bears before, but the first time I ever had to be like concerned or worried about bears, I was like in West Virginia and North Carolina, and it was like, don't leave food in your car, blah blah blah, like bears, you know. So there has been bears, and then I saw a story. I think it was like in Nevada with like a mountain lion drinking from a pool or something. So as there are forest fires and different environmental changes, it's going to affect the animal spirits as well, and you're going to see like really like crazy behavior with them, if you haven't already. Okay, so so just like Shrek, grab your torch and pitchfork and get ready for bears to attack. But that's just like the thing, and the thing too also with like the strength card, and it's the Empress hugging the lion, is that I think that if you train your intuition and your abilities, you'll actually be able to communicate with animals, a lot like Dr. Dolittle. So you won't actually have to be afraid of them because you'll be able to give them what you need. But also be aware that if you have like a wolf, or if you're coming in contact with a bear, then most likely, even as a human, you will be their pet. So, just be aware of that. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.